Hey everyone, it's Susan Pierce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! It is 2018. It's the first vlog of 2018 and I'm all dressed up and excited to be with you. Feeling awesome. I hope you're feeling awesome. I have two things on my mind today that I want to talk to you about. The first one is I just want to share my overwhelming appreciation and gratitude for you. This tribe just blows me away, and I want to share with you what we did at the tail end of last year. We raised money for charity water, and do you know how we did? It's just stunning. People pitched in from the Bright Line Eating tribe, and I just want to thank you. You know, whether you decided to give or not, it doesn't really matter because you're part of the community that brought this outpouring of love forward. Whether you've ever commented on a vlog or done the 14-day challenge or done the boot camp or shared the book with a friend or just, you show up to watch the vlog, which means that your tally shows up in the YouTube, tally as people see the social proof of, oh, look, 15,000 people watch these vlogs or whatever. Every little thing that you do contributes to the spirit of what we've got going on here at Bright Line Eating, and it shows. It really matters. People feel a part of something here at Bright Line Eating. And so what that means is that when I put out a call for something, all of a sudden, just magic happens. Magic happens. So 2 or 3 vlogs ago, I said it's coming to the end of December of 2017, and I would like to raise money for Charity Water. This is an organization that puts 100% of donations toward providing clean, fresh water to drink for people in remote parts of the world where they're currently drinking out of swamps, out of rivers, out of, sedentary bodies of water with diseases and all sorts of bacteria and things in the water. And oftentimes the women and children are walking for miles to get that dirty water. They're walking miles for it, putting it in 40-pound jerry cans and carrying it back on their heads or on their backs. And it's taking all day, and it means that the women don't get an education. It means that they can't work, they can't develop crafts or professions, and it just stagnates the entire village when they don't have access to clean water. They can't wash themselves. They're having to really carefully ration the water that they do have, even though it's dirty water, there's not enough of it. So they have to decide, are we going to use it to cook food? Are we going to use it to clean our clothes? The women almost never get to wash their bodies. So we decided to raise money for this as a community, and there's a program called The Spring, which is ongoing donations, and I asked for 1,000 people to step up. And on December 31st, we were at 871 people. And I'd already kind of done everything I could think of. I'd done a couple Facebook Lives, and I'd mentioned it in the vlog twice, and I was like, I just don't know if we're going to get there. It's December 31st. We're at 871, and I was looking at the numbers, and I was thinking, that's pretty good, though. We've raised a couple $100,000 a year. These are ongoing donations. It's like a monthly donation, so that's a couple $100,000 every year that's going to go. And my chief of staff, Chris Davis, at 10 a.m. that morning sent me an email saying, or it was a text message saying, we're at 871. Do you want to send out one more email and see if we can get to the 1,000? And I was just thinking the same thing. So I texted her back, and I just put my fingers on the keyboard and words started flowing to me, and I wrote an email. We sent it out quickly, and all of a sudden the subscriptions started pouring in like they did after the very first vlog, just pouring in. And all of a sudden we were at 1,000, like easily, by 2 p.m. we were at 1,000. And then we were at 1,050 and then 1,100. And I think by the end of the night, we were at like 1,100 and something. And, today I think we're at like 1,160 or something like that. It's just remarkable. We're closing in on 1,200 people donating to the Spring. And in actual dollar amounts, what I want to share is that's $335,000 a year. $335,000 every year. That's going to go to help some, 12,000 people. Think in a stadium of over 10,000 people. It's a lot of people. New people each year getting clean water to drink for the first time in their lives. And the women and the girls being freed up, not having to carry that water, girls being able to get an education, women being able to, work and start businesses and take jobs and develop crafts and professions and trades. It's just a complete revolution of the existence of a village. So I just want to say thank you. I'm so proud of you. We did it. Thank you so much. It's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And the gratitude and service that we demonstrate here, two just core founding principles of Bright Line Eating, gratitude and service. We just showed it in spades. So I'm thinking about that today. I just wanted to say thank you. There's no call to action. I'm not putting, that's like internet marketing speak, call to action. I didn't provide a link. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm just saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the other thing I'm thinking about is this research report that that my research team and I put together this past month. And I think it's called The Likelihood of an Obese Person Reaching a Normal Weight with Bright Line Eating, or something like that. And it has to do with a study that I've been aware of now for a while. It was a 2015 study in the American Journal of Public Health, where they looked at public health records in the UK, and they looked at, they actually have health records of just about everybody in the UK. They have health records on 70% of the people. And so they know who's overweight, they know who's obese, they know who's trying to lose weight, they know all that stuff. And they've been looking over years, and what they see is that the odds of someone who's obese getting into a normal BMI within any given year, the odds are really slim. For a woman who's just obese, like just over the threshold, like her BMI is 30 to 35, which is the merest minimum category of obesity, her odds of getting into a normal right-sized body within a year are 1 in 124. And for a man whose BMI is 30 to 35, his odds are 1 in 210, like really abysmal odds. So I asked my research team to look at our data, because we now have a follow-up database of people who've done the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp. And I said, let's take a look at someone who's done the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp. What are their odds? So we looked at people that we have a year's worth of data for, because of course some people have done the bootcamp more recently and we don't have a year's worth of data for them. And of course not everybody fills out surveys, so we don't have data on everybody, but we have a database now of a couple thousand people. And so I said, look, let's look at the people who started the bootcamp obese, and in that same BMI category of 30 to 35, and let's see what their odds are of getting into a right-sized body within a year, a normal BMI within a year. And we looked it up, and it's 1 in 3. 1 in 3. And so that's 41 times better than someone in the general population. And then we looked at all obesity categories, and we compared it. We looked at it by gender, and we looked at all obesity categories. And across all obesity classes, someone who does Bright Line Eating, the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp, is 55 times more likely to get into a right-sized body, into a normal BMI within a year, than someone doing any other program or no program. So, you know, some of the limitations of looking at it this way are, you know, there's sampling bias involved, because not everybody in the UK who's overweight or obese is actively trying to lose weight. But we actually have an idea of what percentage are trying to lose weight actively. A recent study published by the Journal of the American Medical Association shows that 60% of women, approximately, and 40% of men who are obese are trying to lose weight. So we know that, you know, about 60% of those women in the UK study actually were trying to lose weight, but their odds of getting into a right-sized body were still 1 in 124, and worse if they were more obese than just a little obese. So we wrote up a report. We actually have a table where we look at the odds for people at different weight categories and so forth. And you know, I am providing a link to that just because I thought you might want to see this white paper that we produced from our research department. It's exciting stuff, like 55 times more likely to get into a right-sized body. Like, though, you know, that's a pretty tremendous number. We're talking about, what would that be, 5,500% more likely? You know, when you see, like, you know, someone taking, you know, turmeric is, you know, 20% less likely to, you know, have a throbbing ankle the next day after an ankle sprain or whatever, right? 20% or whatever. This is 5,500% more likely. Really, really big number. So yeah, it's exciting. Now, sampling bias is in play here. So I just want to mention that In order to be, like, what does this mean for you? If here it is at the beginning of 2018, if you're trying to get into a right-sized body in 2018, to be in the group that we studied, you'd have to do two things to be in that population. You would need to do the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp. These were not people who read the book, who did the 14-day challenge. The people that we collected data on are people who did the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp. So that would be the first thing. In order to be in those numbers, you'd have to be, the recipient of those types of odds. You'd have to do the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp, and then you'd have to fill out surveys in our follow-up program for 10 months after the bootcamp ended, totaling a full year. If you did those two things, whether you participated actively in the bootcamp or not, whether you, kept doing Bright Line Eating or not, whether you, any of that, it wouldn't really matter actually. You'd still be in the population if you signed up for the bootcamp and did it, and if you did the follow-up study afterwards. If you did those two things, you would then be in the population of people who are subject to the odds that I just mentioned. But that's those things are within your control, right? Like, you could do those things, and then you would suddenly be landing yourself in the population of people on planet Earth who are the most likely to get into a right-sized body this year. I've scoured the literature. There are no better odds in the world. Like, this is it. Those are the best odds by far. Like, by far, by far, by far. So I hope that 2018 will prove to be a lot of things, but in particular for Bright Line Eating, I hope that it will be a year of research. I hope that it will be the year that our first, peer-reviewed scientific journal article comes out. Last year was the year that we had our first results presented at a peer-reviewed scientific conference. We'll do that again this year. And but this year, I hope that, we'll start having papers published, and this white paper is a good start. And all this stuff it just takes a long time for paper. We submitted a paper last year, and it's just the review process is really sticky. We had a reviewer who I think is really firmly entrenched in the intuitive eating movement, and she was writing back, "There's no evidence that sugar is addictive," and I'm reading it going, yeah, there is. But, these topics are really hotly debated, and if you get a cantankerous reviewer, it can really slow down your paper getting out. It'll get out eventually. We'll submit it to a different journal, but yeah. So anyway, that's kind of where things are at on the research front, and I'm grateful to be starting 2018 in a right-sized body. My prayer for myself, my aim, my resolution is just to stay surrendered with my food, just to keep writing down my food the night before, and the next day eating only and exactly that. I couldn't be more peaceful and happy and surrendered with my own personal food these days. It feels really, really good. And I'm just following the plan that I laid out in the book, the plan that I laid out in the boot camp. The plan, essentially the plan that was handed down to me by 12-step food addiction people, like, it's a plan that's been followed for a lot of years. I added the science to it. I explained the science here. Get it wherever you want to get it. But if you want to get it from the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp and then fill out surveys for a year, you will place yourself in a population of people who are, the most successful weight loss, triumph stories on planet Earth, achieving odds that no one else can claim to achieve. So check out that little white paper that we published. And if you want to hop into the boot camp, because it's the beginning of 2018, if you're ready to actually do this Bright Line Eating boot camp thing, it's an 8-week online boot camp. You can do it from anywhere in the world. We've had people from 103 countries around the world go through it. I'll put a link to that down below as well. We would love to see you in the boot camp to start 2018. And whatever your goals are, wherever your life is taking you right now, I just wish you all the best for a happy, peaceful, love-filled, joy-filled year. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next week.